In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make my version of a Captain America Tsum Tsum. Now, Disney hasn't made a Captain America Tsum Tsum yet, so this is just my version of what I think it would look like. He comes complete with a magnetically attached shield. Let's get started. The colors of polymer clay I'll be using for this project are white, flesh-colored, dark blue, black, red, and a little bit of light blue. The first two colors of clay I'm working with are the blue and the flesh tone. This will be for the body, and I shaped it like an oval, and then I pressed the front of it flat on my mat so the front would be flat, and I put a piece of wire in it. This one I rolled into a bowl, and then I pressed the back of it flat down on my mat like this, because these two pieces will be going together. So what I'll do is just slide these two pieces together with my wire, and now you have the face and the body. I've joined the two pieces of my polymer clay together and added a little polymer clay nose with my flesh-toned clay. Now I have this piece of blue flattened out, and what I did was I cut this triangle out of the bottom, and this will be for his mask. So what I'll do is I'll put this over his face to make sure it's the right size, and then I'll cut out where his eyes will go. And the way I'll do that is I'll be using a straw. So I'll leave this on for a second. I'll take this little tool, you can use anything that has a little point to it, and I'll just mark where I want to cut out the shape for his eyes. So a little mark here and a little mark over here, like this. See the two little dots? One there and one on that side. I'll just cut those pieces out and finish off with his mask. To cut the eye holes in his mask, what I'll do is take this straw and squeeze it at the bottom so it's more pointed, and leave the top more oval shaped like this, and I'll use this to cut out two shapes in his mask. I finished cutting out the two holes where his eyes will go. What I'll do is just mark two little dots in the middle of this so I know where to attach his eyes. Just mark two dots, and then I'll take this off and finish shaping the edges of it. I've made two tiny eyes using light blue polymer clay and a little bit of black on top, and I marked where his eyes will go previously, the little indentations, so I'll place one eye in each of those indentations. The reason I'm doing this before I put the mask on is because I want the mask to go around the eyes. So here I have one eye, and then I'll just attach the other one right where I had the second mark, and so far he looks like this. I cut two little slits in his mask because this part of the side will be coming off, and also some of the back will be coming off. And then I'll place this mask right on top over his eyes again, so as I get an idea of what excess I need to cut off. I cut off the excess on the sides of the mask, and now what I'll do is just use my little knife to mark where I want to cut off the excess on this side. So just take it and go around the edge, all the way around the side of his head, on this side too, and then you'll be cutting off all this excess and then just pressing it down so it attaches to his head. I cut off the excess of the mask, and I use this smoothing tool just to smooth down the edges. And now I have this blue strip, which I'll be wrapping all around to make it look like his blue collar, and that will help you to also cover up that seam. It will just make it look neater. Wrap it all the way around and just cut off the excess at the bottom, like this. Now this step is completely optional, but what I'll be doing is putting a few jump rings inside his back like this, and I just made a little incision and pushed it down, and that will allow me to magnetically attach his shield once I've made it. So I'll be using about 3 or 4 of these, and what I do is just make a little cut. You don't want to cut too much because you don't want him to fall apart, but just make a little incision in his back, and then place one of your jump rings and slide it down into that little incision. And don't worry about this showing because this will be covered up. I have a thin white strip here that's about 2.5 inches long and about 1/2 inch wide. And what I'll do is I'll start attaching these red pieces to it. And this will be for the middle of him, the red and white part. So first I'll put one red right in the middle, leave a little space, and then put another red. Leave a space again and put another red on the other side, about the same distance apart until you get to the end. So it starts looking like this. Now that my belt looks like this, I can attach it to Captain America. So what I'll do is I'll put it on his back, go all the way around the side, and just wrap it here under the bottom. If you have a lot of excess on the bottom, you can always cut that off. And then do the same thing on the other side until it looks like this. Since this is Captain America, I added the A to his helmet, and I'm adding the 4 little feet underneath since he is a Tsum Tsum. The reason they're all red is because his boots are red and also he wears gloves that are red, so I made them all red. After this, I'll be making his shield. Now it's time to get started on Captain America's shield, which will end up looking like the one I have around my neck. So for that, I'll need these shape cutters, and these are circles. I'll only be using 3 of these. The smallest 3, starting with this one. And this one will be for the red. I have my red flattened out. I'll just cut a red circle out of that, twist it to smooth the edges a little bit. And then I'll cut out a white circle with the second biggest one, and a blue circle with the smallest one. I have all 3 circles cut out, so now what I'll do is start layering them. So the white goes on top of the red, and then the blue goes on top of the white. And I'll show you when I'm finished. And then the last thing I'll need is actually a star, a white star. So I have this star shape and have a piece of white flattened out. I'll just cut out a little white star, peel off the edges, and then I'll just place it on top of the blue, and his shield will be ready. Captain America and his shield are almost ready for baking, but because this is a shield, what I wanted to do is curve down a little bit. So I have this piece of foil that I crumpled up, and what I'll do is just place this on top and just curve the edges down over it, so that once it's finished baking, it will come out curved. Now I finished baking my Captain America Tsum Tsum, and I glazed him and his shield with this Sculpey gloss. Now what I'll be doing is attaching a little magnet to the inside of the shield so that it can attach to the back of his bag. So I found these magnets here, and they're very, very strong magnets, and I'll be attaching it with this E6000 glue. This is very strong glue, so you want to use this outside or cover your face when you use this glue. So I just put some glue inside here, and then what I'll do is just place my magnet right on top of that and just press it down until it sits in the glue like this. And now I have to set this aside for a whole day, for 24 hours, and let it cure. If I use the magnet before that, the magnet will just come right out of the glue. Now the glue on my magnet cured overnight, so the shield is ready to attach to Captain America. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and post in the comments. And please share this video. I'll be posting a new Tsum Tsum tutorial very soon. Thanks for watching.